My inner child is extremely excited to say this video is sponsored by the Lego Group. Minecraft has partnered with the Lego Group to release even more Minecraft Lego sets. The Minehut server has also opened up a plot world for anyone to join and build their favorite Minecraft Lego sets on the server. Before I get building here, you can join in at lego.minehut.com. Build a plot for yourself and see all of the other awesome builds from players too. I've really got to get this one going here. I just realized the Enderman Tower set is right next to my plot. That thing is huge. Oh, it looks so cool. We've definitely got to step it up here today and make something as my current plot is a little empty. Yeah, very, very empty. To get some hands-on inspiration, I took a trip to my nearby Lego store and picked up the Wolf Stronghold set. It's been a little while since I built a Lego set, so it turned out to be a great way to spend 45 minutes just clicking together some bricks to see the Wolf Stronghold come together. And I actually got a ton of ideas for cool things that I can include in my own plot here on the server. I'm seeing a few of the key parts of this Lego set it's based in the Mega Taiga biome, I think, with a river being used as a moat to defend the stronghold before we get to the walls with the big wolf head on top of it over the gateway. This looks like a great place to hold out against the skeletons attacking. Now my plot is a little flat, and to get an idea of where to start, let's grab some concrete and just start placing some things down. I really like the idea of guiding a player through here so we can tell a bit of a story, so I'm thinking our walking path is probably going to go something like this, just curving up a hillside, and we can have the Wolf Gate Fortress right here. That can be really, really cool. And then behind that, you know what? We could even include another set where we have the big pickaxe mine. That's another really cool set. So we can do like a mine entrance back here somewhere. Signs are a great way to get started on plot builds. Now we need the moat in front of the gate, definitely. So I'm thinking we can have a waterfall coming down like over this way, where it's falling off like the hillside that our mine is dug into, and then that will just be sending right here along the front. Yep, the plan's really starting to come together. It's looking like a great build. Throwing some spots for some trees. This will probably be like a big rock that comes all the way over here to the corner. And I kind of like the idea of this being like a mountain cliffside along the back. That could be really, really fun. We have this little fortress just nestled in here, protected by our wolves defending the mine. Oh yeah, it's really starting to come together. Let me do a little terraforming. I find when I'm starting to build a Minecraft, even when I have inspiration ready to go, I like to just get the base shapes in and work my way out from there. We have a lot of blocks in Minecraft now that can be really distracting and take away from the ideas that I already have to run with. So taking this back to a very, very simple shape level, and blocks can be a great way to actually move forward most efficiently. This is a pretty good start. We need to get our structure in before I do any more landscaping, as well. Our wolf stronghold here is the most important part, and with the river in place, we're already kind of halfway through the plot. Now I think so that we can have an odd number to work with for the wolf statue itself, I think I want the actual archway to be 3 blocks wide. We'll probably extend this out a bit more so we have some extra just oomph to work with here and give it a lot of extra good shaping to it. You know what, let's throw this in here for now. Our way to get inside, kind of copying what the Lego set had, is we're gonna have just some walls. You gotta kind of jump your way across, and then you can move on up here, and then we'll just bring this back into some cobblestone so we can set the foot layer where we're actually going to be walking inside. And I do like the idea of this coming up another few blocks here, so we'll figure out how to get some archway in here. We might not do the doorway, but I think the archway itself can look pretty good. I want it to feel like you're kind of going up, and honestly that's not quite there yet. Now that I think is going to work out pretty well. Just the extra block on the back, and then we'll continue this arch going all the way up over here, which we want to make sure it has a good amount of space, because if we did it right down here, like at this layer, and did like, okay, we're 3 blocks above, it makes it look very, very flat and not too grand. So if we move it all the way up here, probably about to that height, and then we'll add some extra extensions going down on either side, that fits that more grand feel, as then we're 3 blocks above the back layer here. Now going with a similar idea to what we had in the Lego set itself, that kind of had the gate out forward, and then the walls came a little bit further back here, and this one's going to go right into the rock face here. And then let's give ourselves a 3 wide gap, and then we can move to another tower on the corner. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, big old 3x3 tower, and then this one is probably just gonna go all the way off to the edge from there. Actually, you know what? I think I want this to be 5 wide. I think that's gonna be a lot more balanced. And so this side is just gonna barely have a tower sticking out of the rock. Absolutely no idea what we're gonna do down here yet, but I really like the vibe of that kind of being set up higher. We could just bring this down as the wall coming all the way down to this point, and maybe that comes up a little bit here. And then this rock obviously is going to be growing up on this side. I feel like I don't ever really get to just jump into creative Minecraft and have some fun building, so I'm actually having a really good time right now. I think I'm starting to really enjoy this whole creative Minecraft thing. Now, the Lego set did have some openings in the walls. I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep that, but for now we're going to leave those in here, as what I think I need to focus on next is this whole wolf statue thing. It kind of is the wolf stronghold, and for that we kind of need a big old wolf head here. And I don't really want to just make the Minecraft pixel art one. I'd like to really try and come up with a design for something. I'm kind of thinking we can start like there with a nose. Maybe we bring it out another block and I'll just rebuild it closer if I need to. Yeah, we can get a cool little mouth, a little snoot. We gotta get a good old doggo snoot going on in here. That's already a little too square. Let's round this. Okay, there's our nose and there's the bottom of the dog. And I think we can just bring that in flat. I really loved on the Lego set how you can swap the face around, and that's kind of looking like we could have some eyeballs in there. Wouldn't really be swapping the face around, but if we just grab some black concrete, maybe we can have this be some eyeballs back here. And then we can either swap those out for redstone blocks or something to say if we're angry in defense mode. This is looking pretty boxy, so I'm thinking like, you know how some huskies, well, I know my huskies for sure have it, where their fur just kind of sticks out around to kind of round off their face. So we can do a little bit of that over here too. Maybe a little slab right down here to kind of start where it's going to go down into the neckline. They can have some very pointy ears. They're listening to everything out here. Oh, those kind of look like horns. I think I made a fox. Like, you know, one of those desert fox mouse thingies. I think I made that. I don't know if it's a wolf, but I also kind of really like it. I think the ears are a little too big. We gotta drop this down. There we go. That's feeling much more wolf-like, kind of. Can I do this in here? Get some wall action going in maybe, and we like turn that. Oh, it's the fiddling with point. I'll bring it back in when I got something good. He looks so over it. The bone blocks in for the eyes. It's like just like I can't even right now. That's so good. I love that. Those are staying. Those are 100% staying. I was actually pretty happy with the shape that I had going on here, so I added in some andesite just to give a little bit of coloring to it, as it sticks with that rougher texturing that we have in here with our tuff already. Darken up the nose a little bit more for a little dark little boop, and it's looking pretty good. And then I don't know why, but I put this button in here. So I like our wolf statue from the air. It's not giving the best impression from down here, but I think that's okay, because the second we get above where the tree line would be, oh, he looks like he's just glaring at us. That's definitely giving dog. You know what? This looks exactly like how my dog Coda looks at me. Yep, that's pretty accurate right there. Looking at the Lego set again, I've been kind of studying it, and behind the wall that we have, there is like a raised platform with some wooden supports onto the back. And I would like to actually bring that in here next so that we can get a good idea of what that shape will look like. And then it doesn't really loop around here as it had the chest, but I'm gonna take some creative liberty and just kind of bring this up as a bit of a higher section, and then we just stack this guy going along. Thankfully, as I figure out what the rest of this wall design looks like, if I can get this half looking right, I can just kind of copy the whole thing over to there. From the Lego itself, I noticed a few of the bricks on the wall had some green pieces plopped in, which to me reads as mossy cobblestone. So I decided to go for a pretty aged, overgrown stone brick wall with a ton of moss added in, and then a wooden top to give some contrast against the tower. Just finished copying that over to the far side here as well, and I think this is starting to look pretty cool. I'm gonna be pretty satisfied with what we've been able to create so far. Once we can bring this whole front area to life, oh, it's gonna look really cool. But we still have to deal with the area here behind our old Wolfie, who's given so much attitude right now. And I was thinking for this section, I think we'll probably just use some spruce as if it's like mounted on that, because I don't want this to really read as stone. more of just like a figurine that they have propped up here. I think that's a good start. Let me finish this thing off. I spent another 30 minutes or so finishing off the gatehouse and started to texture the front half of our build. This is looking pretty cool coming up here. Now, I've got a little bit of our foliage in along this front stretch here too, and I would like to throw in some trees next. I really want one like right here, but it always kind of bugs me when things are just kind of chopped off on plots. So I think unfortunately that's going to mean we're going to move him right here. We'll just have to be very careful to make sure we're not blocking this sight line that we have going to the wolf statue. And then I also want at least 2 trees back here, I believe. And I got to make sure that they're not too tall compared to this big old guy up here as well. That's probably a decent height for that one. Make this guy a touch shorter in the front. And then this one, I'm going to probably just make it look like it's a little broken or something. And it can actually probably be the tallest, as that'll kind of help frame everything here pretty well. Ooh, I'm gonna have to be super careful of where that's coming in. Let's figure out how this is gonna look like actual trees instead of just stick. There we have some branches in place, and that can give a little bit better of a glimpse of the shape that these trees are going to bring in. Now I just need to slap on a ton of our spruce leaves and maybe some birch leaves and a very small amount of azalea at the top. I have been at this for a few hours now, and I think the atmosphere is really starting to come together out front. I messed around with a ton of detailing out here, just filling this out with an entire forest floor where I can. We've got our boulders sticking around. I even changed out the bottom of our river to being mud, and it looks really cool. The rocks being fully textured with some grass and everything thrown around on top of it. And I've kind of reworked this a little bit so you have an easier way to jump inside across the river, which is cool. And along the back, lastly, we have this as a little way to get up, where now we have the crafting table and the smithing table and the anvil that are all in the Lego. And then I couldn't do the double chest up here, but I did get 2 single chests, mostly because it's an odd width, and I thought the double just looked kind of weird in the middle. And then we do have the lights on both sides. Now I realize I forgot that one, so that balances it out. But when we look at this guy from all the way back here, and then carefully picking it up, how does it compare to the actual Lego set? Probably less skeletons, if I had to guess, and less actual wolves. But you know, I think it's pretty spot on. Well, being as a part of inspiration, that is, I didn't want to make a direct copy, but I'm super happy with how the front of this thing turned out. Now we just need to figure out what to do with the back, and I've got 0 ideas on this so far. I think it's about time that we take a little bit of a tour around the server here. And inside the server hub, we have every single one of the Lego sets. Actually, here, look at that creeper. The detail on that is so cool. But this over here, I remembered I wanted to put a smaller version of the pickaxe mine, probably not to this scale, in my own build. So I want to definitely keep that in mind for the corner. Looks like a platform, a wooden support somewhere. Then we need a big old pickaxe carved into the wall. That could be super fun. Ooh, and TNT, can't go wrong there. Ooh, maybe a little bit of like lush cave action on the inside. That could be kind of fun. Oh, there's what we built, the wolf stronghold. That's so cool looking. Whose wolf head do you think is better, this big old one or the one that I made? I don't know. Right, let's take a look and see what all the other people have been up to on the server. You can fly around and visit pre-reviewed and approved builds created by other players during the Lego Minecraft build event. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I love him. I absolutely love him. We've got a bit of a trophy here that looks like it came from a, what would this be, a desert temple? Kind of, that's pretty cool. Is that a Lego build with land on the side? Oh, that's fantastic. We've got the classic Minecraft sword nether portal. And as it should be, we have a Technoblade monument. Oh, love it. Whoa, check that out. We've got the pickaxe mine Lego set in here. That's really cool. Oh, they did a really good job. I love the glowing pickaxe on it. I'm not quite too sure where this rocket launched from, but I do love that fire coming out of it. That thing's got a great turn radius. Crate Gang are such cool mobs in Minecraft. Resin for the eyes, just that bright orange color, works really well. It's a mushroom house. He looks like he's up to something, but we got a mushroom house. Oh, look at that. Definitely keep you safe off the ground. I see we got the trial chamber set down in here. Oh, that's looking really cool in game. It looks like somebody's trying to build a city over here. It's just like a full-on Minecraft base. Look at that. Warning, do not enter. Sorry, I can't read. Oh, it's a police station. Crimes list, be worried. Well, there's no crimes listed, so it's probably okay. This is the most classic Minecraft over-the-top house I think I've ever seen. We're just missing diamond blocks, but inside, oh, they even got the redstone floor. Look at that. This is just like premium 2013 Minecraft house right here. Well, I guess we didn't have deep slate ore back then, but like, you know what I mean. I'm not sure how I missed the basalt volcano over here, but this thing's pretty sweet. It's just like a whole base at the top of a volcano. Yep, definitely lava on the inside, and a beacon hidden down in it. Ain't nobody gonna break into this base. There's even a secret door under here. I want to see what's inside. Let me go in. That's definitely where the netherite is. You know what? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to dive back in and finish up the rest of our plot. I've got some great ideas from flying around here. I've definitely got some new ideas for what we can do here after the server tour, and I'm feeling really ready to tackle this last point throughout. One thing I think I want to do is actually expand the way that I can get into our mine to give ourselves a few more blocks of space, as we could go with the normal Minecraft minecart like I have right here. But what if we did something a little bit bigger and more custom? I think we can make a pretty fun looking minecart ourselves. So we think of the entrance is going to be like here and 5 blocks wide, and that brings us to 5 blocks tall, and create some sort of a gap right in here that we could do something kind of decorative on right in there. But honestly, for now, I think I might just put a strip log in just to give it some extra framing. That doesn't look too bad. We'll figure out the inside of the mine, but so far I brought ourselves back in here a few and kind of angled it off this way, as I think that's probably going to be the best plan of action, seeing as we have the most space to go here, where that kind of just disappears. I'll deal with the height for the top of the mountain after I actually finish this section, because that's not as important as our little cave. There we go. That is looking much more cave-like in here. My thought is if we can get 2 rails that are going to go right next to each other. Actually, I guess I should probably texture the floor a little bit in here to make it a touch darker before I actually do that. I got a little distracted, so I'm over here now, just stacking up these rocks. I'll come back in and texture them later. But for now, I think I've got a pretty good one. It's about the same height as what we have over there. And I think I'm just going to grab some of our coarse dirt and top this guy off here so that we can add a little bit of foliage and maybe like a small tree or something up here. Yeah, I think that works out pretty well. We're definitely going to have to make sure it doesn't blend in exactly with the grays that we have in there. Also, I turned the brightness down because I realized it was a little high. And look at the moody vibes we have in here now, just with a little bit of more shadow cast on the trunks. We got the shadow underneath the wolf head itself as we can walk into the stronghold, and oh, it is looking so much cooler in here, especially once we get into the mine. That is turning really dark back here. But now we can work on our little minecart design. I might actually want to get rid of the rails here. I wanted to do something up at this layer, but that might not work out too well. What can I use instead of rails for the floor? If I just hid some looms right here, yeah, something like this will kind of give the idea of a minecart, so I'm pretty happy with it. And the other option instead of looms, though, maybe barrels, because it has the 2 strong lines instead of the looms has a lot. Yeah, I think that actually works a little bit better. And I think I'm just going to run these along the entire way. And then on top of it, where I can, we're going to run rails in there too. Looking at the image I'm able to work off of here for the pickaxe mine, there is a bit of a storage section off to the side, so I figured we can do that right up here underneath the wall, and we can just get a bunch of chests, and I'll throw some beehives around. I would probably use barrels instead, but we use those down there, so I don't want to confuse whoever's walking around here. So this way, it can at least just look like we got a lot of good storage of all of the minerals we're pulling out of the mine. So many ores. And I am kind of not really loving the back of this currently. So I would like to come underneath here and just give ourselves a little bit more support and structure to it, because I don't like that it's just the spruce disappearing into the dark oak. That helps a little bit. I might just need to run some trapdoors along for a little bit of a back railing. We've already used them on the front of the wall, so it should be fine. The part I've been avoiding is the big old pickaxe that's supposed to go up here. as I want the wolf stronghold to be our primary focus. And I'm worried if we have a pickaxe right there, because it's gonna have to be pretty big, it might ruin the aesthetic that we've created on the outside, as I want this to be like a secondary background element. So maybe we can like somehow shrink it. If we do like a little guy right in here, you'd think by now I would know what a pickaxe in Minecraft looks like. Yeah, I think I can smooth this out and get pickaxe-y vibes. We'll take some stairs along here. Pickaxe? Small pickaxe, very, very big hilt. We'll get there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely we're gonna get there. Yeah. Oh boy, what have I got myself into? You know what? That barely is coming up over the top here from the front, so I think that's gonna have to do it. I don't want to make it any larger. I'll maybe play around with it in a little bit. But now I've got a lot of texturing work to do on the inside here and shaping work, as we have a lot more stuff to be done, because it's a little bland on the inside currently, and I would love for there just be a little bit of a better, more completed vibe in here. And I think we can just plop a few pieces of coal in the wall, and that should be enough to give the idea of a mine. I've got a ton of stairs and slabs around. And then to definitely sell the idea that this is just kind of going off into darkness, I'm just gonna replace this all with some black concrete. Brightness back down, and that is looking pretty sweet in here. Okay, I really like how this little mine has turned out. And what am I gonna do in here? Haven't figured that out yet. The mangrove log bark texture could honestly be really solid in there. There we go. That definitely sells what I tried to do, right? Pickaxe. Yeah. Can't build a pickaxe, but I can type out the word. Heck yeah. Last part is to finish off our final corner of the plot here, and then we've got to texture everything. So I'm bringing this rock up here. We'll come back in with all of the texturing that we've done down below. But I like the idea, so that it kind of follows along with how the water's flowing here, instead of, you know, falling into the stronghold. Well, actually, I guess I've got to decorate the stronghold. Okay, multiple parts left, but I want to bring this up to be a little bit higher so that we have a bit of a tall point for the plot. Give us some background details that just kind of make everything else feel really enclosed in the environment. And also a big part of it is I want to be able to view my plot from down here. And, you know, we can see the other plots around us. I love being able to look at those for inspiration, but when I'm inside of the build that I made, I want to be kind of just really situated inside of it. So if we can bring up the walls along the back a touch more, we can kind of block off the builds that other people have made. Don't get me wrong, I love putting my Minecraft base next to anybody else's Minecraft base, but sometimes I just, you know, want to only look at my Minecraft base. We all have all been there. Alrighty, I've been going at this for a while with texturing up all of the walls, and I've got this last little bit right here. I just want to do a little bit more moss and a little bit like kind of right in here. And then yes, I also extended those up a lot more and extended that up a lot more. But look at the vibe. You can still see the tower, but I'd have to go like another 8 blocks up to block it. And I want the wolf head to have the blue sky around it, so it's just gonna have to be okay. Maybe that's on the far side of the mountains. But overall, look at this. Look at the vibe we have in here. That mountain is looking really cool. The wolf head is right here at the front of the stronghold. And then we can come on inside where we still need to detail in here. But that's okay. Our mine is getting there. It's got a lot of really cool stuff on the inside that I'm very happy with how this has all turned out. We got our big old minecart right there. And back in this section, I think it's just gonna be, ooh, we can fill that in. Don't really need that to be an open gap. I think this is just gonna be a lot more storage back here. Something that the stronghold is here protecting the mine is kind of the vibe that I'm going with. So we need to get something like that. That's a good amount of storage. And then I also really wanted to create a place that we could bring probably like right here, coming out 3 blocks. Maybe, yeah, if we go any lower, it's going to start to really block that. It's already kind of blocking the edge of the pickaxe. But we can get a little bit of an awning here hanging off of the side of the mountain. And maybe we just carve this back like they kind of carved it out a little bit to create a little bit more space for them to do things in. It is Minecraft after all. Physics don't really apply to a whole lot of things here, so we can build where we want. And if we have a mine, we definitely have people working in the mine and they need a place to eat some snacks. So we can just set up a little table and chair or two out here and that should do the trick. Using some of the chiseled bookshelves, we can make a little bit more storage right over here. that maybe they can, they all have all their little lockers in there. I did talk about adding in some glowberries. I don't think I want to send them all the way back, but maybe just a few here around the front could be kind of fun. No idea if I actually need to shear these or not, but out of habit, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I like that little bit of green that we get in there now. This is making me feel super happy here. I've turned down the render distance a bunch, get the fog coming a little bit closer to where we're standing right now. And oh my gosh, the vibes in here are awesome. I am so satisfied with how this has turned out. It's a little guy, but I feel like there's a story going on with what we've built today. And that was the goal, what I was going for. I'm super, super happy with how this has turned out. You know, it's looking so good. So naturally, as you do on every single plot you make, you have to sign the plot. There we go. That's looking much better. I kind of didn't really have a whole lot of space for the bottom of the P, but it's totally fine. Now everybody's gonna know this was by me with a big old fWhip on the side of it. A huge thank you again to the LEGO Group for sponsoring today's video here on the Mine Hut server. Come join the event for yourself at lego.minehut.com. You know, I think I actually did a pretty dang good job using this as some inspiration for the Wolf Stronghold, bringing that into the Minecraft build. I'm happy with it, dude. That turned out really well. We're just gonna say that we've already defeated all of the skeletons. Yeah, that's totally fine. But with that, we can come down here and, oh, he's kind of despairing inside of it. But we can come over here and complete plot. Are you sure that you are finished building your plot? You won't be able to edit this build anymore once you confirm. Yes. Well, I'm at a new one. How do I go? Oh. Okay, we're back. We're good. Oh, okay, we're chilling. All that work? Yep, it's right here. We can visit again, and we can make another one. Check it out, lego.minehut.com, and I'll get you all on the flip side.